We all have to take all these little bits and pieces of information from all the mentors, all the
Yeah.
information out there, build our own path and reverse engineer it.
Yeah. No, because nobody said you have to reinvent the wheel.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
the wheel's been there for centuries.
Mhm.
It's been invented. But it doesn't mean somebody put a wheel on a plane, somebody put a wheel on a train, somebody put a wheel on a car, somebody put a wheel on, God knows, on a fucking robot on Mars.
Yeah.
A wheel is a wheel. Good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Purpose Over Pleasure podcast. And I'm your host, Alex Payne. And today we have the pleasure to talk to a good old friend of mine, at some point lost friend of mine, but then long found. We all kind of lost each other's. But Steve, right?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for having the time. My friend Steve is a dentist. And today, by the way, if my mouth looks weird today and if I sound weird, that's all thank you to my friend Steve, who's a dentist. And he performed an operation on me, a procedure on me today, right? Which is pretty good. I mean, gave me a beautiful feeling.
Nice to shine.
Dude, it's probably the best, thank you. The best feeling I ever had. And
There we go.
yeah, I had some, remember I have a lot of feelings. You know, you see my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was
You
a
know
shiny,
what-
nice new cap.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. That machine that you had was phenomenal. Dude. Whoa.
I did imprint purpose on one side too.
I noticed. Yeah, I noticed it was a lot smoother too. Like not counting the time with the preparation of it,
Yeah.
but like
At the end.
yeah, you didn't have to like grind anything at the end and like kind of measure it and have me like write down like 15 different times. You know, it's like you even do it once and I'm like, oh, all right,
It's good.
yeah, technology, brother.
AI.
Yeah,
AI.
AI,
Yeah, it's AI driven. The
The-
software is very high end.
the machine, right?
Yeah, the software
Okay.
inside the machine. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how you like you're able to show it to like you showed it to me like what it looks like, what my tooth looks like, the outline, kind of like I was present in customizing
your own tooth.
my own tooth.
There we go.
That was pretty awesome. That's in the whole experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it yourself tooth, kind of.
Knock it out yourself. And then put it in. Yeah, no. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for being here. And
With pleasure.
yes. Thank you for that. And today we're discussing a few things, right? Steve, I know you got a lot to say. I've known you for a while now. Just
Yeah.
to give a quick rundown, I met you, 2007,
10?
8, 9, 10? What?
9 to 10. Yeah, 9 to 10.
2009, 2010? That was like,
High school.
13 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected when we went our own separate ways.
Yeah.
You know, I went to my
I think
school. you
3
went to
years
yours.
ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah,
Something like that.
right beginning of the pandemic.
Beginning of yeah, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we've both succeeded in our own different ways, and I was happy to see you, happy to see what you've accomplished, what you've done for yourself, and you know, but yet remain the same, humble, good, kind-hearted, you know, intelligent, not corrupted
Thank you.
person.
Thank you.
And
How do you say it? Same beast, different animal, or same
Same-
animal, different beast?
I usually say same shit, different day.
Or different toilet?
Same. I think you say
Same
same beast, different animal.
or different animal, but the same beast.
Yeah, that makes more sense because you can be an eagle, a wolf,
Yeah.
a bear, a lion, a
Yeah.
tiger, but you're still a beast. You're just a
Yeah.
different kind of animal.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
Good.
we've come a long way, but we stay
Yeah.
the same, person that we've always been.
Yeah, I think that's important. That's
Yeah.
important. Would you say it's because of our backgrounds, as immigrants?
Our backgrounds, our friends, our environment, our
Yeah.
mentors,
Yeah.
people that we look up to, they kind of shape who you are and keep you on your toes, keep you on the right path.
That's true.
Keeping your focus and going in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you're lost and you give yourself to easy pleasures, then it's very easy to get off track and lose your purpose, and start doing bad things and end up in bad places you wouldn't want to be.
What was your purpose? Let's say since I knew you back then, and then I know you after I met you, for that gap period of time, like what was your purpose? 'Cause I remember talking to you
grind.
about your purpose
The grind.
when we lost touch.
Yeah, because we lost touch at the end of college, I think, or middle of college.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was my busiest time ever, where I had zero time for pretty much anything. Been barely going out, once a week, if anything. And that was just getting ready for dental school. finishing up college. I was working. I was doing research. It was like almost like a part-time job, like 30 plus hours of the week. I was late midnight, past midnight, finishing up chemistry reactions.
Jesus.
So just keeping up with the grind because I knew I had one purpose. I wanted to get into dental school and I wanted to become a dentist. So I had to do whatever it took, working, doing research, taking lots of classes to be able to finish on time, and show that I'm committed, to what I want to do, my dream of becoming a dentist. So yeah, that was lost from a lot of events. I was gone
Yeah.
from a lot of parties, a lot of groups. Like you said, we were good friends, but we lost touch too.
Yeah.
So, but
And
something had to give.
yeah. And you went to, if you don't mind, you don't mind sharing, or you do.
No, I'm good.
You went to what school?
So my dental school was at Western University of
Uh-huh.
Health Sciences.
Uh-huh.
That's here in LA, San Bernardino. And then I did a surgical residency at the Veterans Hospital in Palo Alto and the Stanford Hospital.
Stanford.
So I kept, like I got to push my boundaries. I got to get
Yeah.
better, learn
Yeah.
more, just be
Yeah.
better. Not just get out there and start working, but I wanted to work and just be the best version of myself,
Yeah.
being out there and helping people.
Would you say where you went to school? Because just like you, I went to school, right? We got my bachelor's, my master's. Did it make a difference for you where you got your dental degree from at the end of the day?
No,
Crazy, huh?
it did not.
Crazy, huh?
You are the product of your hard work. You're the product of your network, your circle, your closest circle. People that influence you, how to be better, how to stay committed, or not. And the effort you put in is gonna dictate the fruition of your effort, the fruition of your all the hard work, all the time that you put into whatever you're
Yeah.
trying to accomplish. I was at, for example, Stanford. Some of my peers were not as committed as I was. I got more experience. I was doing better than they ended up doing.
Mhm.
So it just depends on how much work you put in, and that's gonna drive you to, I guess, a bigger destination, a bigger fruit at the end.
It's crazy how do you feel like sometimes like they lie to us? Like, oh, you're gonna go. Remember, like, I don't know about you, but when I was in undergrad, in bio major and stuff, dude, it was like, oh, everybody's like, oh, USC, UCLA, and then once you get to all those colleges, oh, you gotta go this school and that school and the best and the best and the best, and then, all right, great, I got my degree, and then I took that degree to go to grad school with a whole different field. At that point, it actually helped me out because not often do you see somebody going from science major to like sociology, and those fields. But in real life, after school was over, nobody gives a shit, dude. I mean, I'm still,
No.
I'm grateful for my degree. I know that my work didn't go to waste. I am getting paid for having a degree,
Yeah.
but
No one
it doesn't
cares.
matter where it's from,
I
dude.
think I've been a dentist for 10 years. Only one person has asked me, "Did you go to USC?" I'm like, "No." "Why not?" "USC is the best." I'm like, "Okay." Not everybody goes to USC. It's just people have perception, and if they like the certain school and they're more passionate about it. But at the end of the day, it's how educated you are.
Yeah.
What have you accomplished in yourself, and how hard have you worked to do what you do at a high level. You know, so that's what matters. The bottom line is how hard you work, having a purpose. Where do you want to get to, and doing everything it takes to get to that level, and
Yeah.
not cutting yourself short from, the
Yeah.
higher potential.
Yeah. Would you say, and I think about this a lot. I think a lot about the fact that my background has a lot to do with the way I am today. Not only my background as, the trauma that I went through, my family, my friends, the events that happened to me, my relationships, but the background of an immigrant, that immigrant mentality, you know. Would you say that something that also influenced your life and in a good or a bad way, whatever way in your opinion?
I think it had a very big influence in my life. I'll tell you a little bit about my parents' story, my story as an immigrant in Los Angeles. So my dad is a dentist. He practiced in Armenia. He didn't practice here. So over there, he had multiple clinics. He was well respected. Some of the generals would come to him from the army and stuff. So he was a well respected dentist. And then for whatever reason, however life happened. We ended up here in the States, and he was doing construction at the lowest level. My mom, being a respected piano teacher, she was working at a bakery for very low salary. And when I came to the States, and actually, we lived apart for 2 years. So when I finally met them here, and I saw them completely, changed careers, changed what they used to do to not doing the lowest of the lowest jobs, making pennies and making barely ends meet. And they had to give all that stuff up for a better life for me and my sisters and our family. I couldn't not be the possible best version of myself. I couldn't possibly not try to get to the higher ground, or better, accomplish a better livelihood for myself and them, for my parents. So they gave up their accomplishments. They gave up their life, uprooted the whole family, came to the United States, and started at the bottom, below the bottom, and worked themselves up, and helped us have the opportunity to climb the ladder and accomplish great things. Having seen that, there was no way I could have let them down. So it was a personal promise to me that, hey, you're gonna work hard, you're gonna do what you gotta do to be a good son, be a good brother to your sisters, and live by example, and at the same time live a good example for the kids, the youngsters that are gonna follow, friends, their kids, my niece and nephews, everybody they're going to look up to me. I want to be a good person for other people to look up to me.
Yeah.
And follow the same footsteps.
I feel you on that one, man. And that's kind of like similar to me, when my mom came to this country, my sister, but my mom in particular, same thing, dude. She just gave up, all her professional career, and, and she had to leave the field she worked to be able to provide, and it's crazy how when I see what's going on in the world nowadays, when I see how they brainwash these young men and women, how they destroy masculinity, how they try to pump this femininity bullshit into the minds of both of them, when in reality, that whole term took another turn, and seeing how the enemies from the outside are trying to corrupt this country, invade this country, destroy this country, because I might be an immigrant, but I am a citizen and I am a patriot of this country. This country has given me the life that I live right now.
Of course.
Everything that I have, everything I have accomplished, and so many opportunities ahead of me. So as a true patriot, I see that happening. And to me, I realize that, damn, I don't want to have to do what my mom had to do in her 50s and 60s.
Imagine.
Leave everything you've worked for your entire life and have to go to another country and start from the bottom up, like start from scratch. Now, obviously, one day, God willing, I'm gonna have kids, and if they have to go through that at a younger age, part of me doesn't want that to see that happening, but part of me is like, hey, that will build character. That's what made me who I am today, of too, course. And you. Yeah. But it would suck to have to do this, once you're like, we established our businesses, our lives, our livelihoods, our careers, our brands, our relationships, families, friends, and then you have to leave everything, go somewhere else, and start from the bottom financially, just everything. And that scares me.
Yeah, it scares me, the whole victim mentality that we're living in with the whole, everybody, they pride themselves in being a victim instead of priding themselves on hard work, accomplishing, persevering through hard times. If there's a challenge at work, school, life, wherever, you just find a way to solve the obstacle and get on with your life instead of, people cry, I'm a victim, and they expect somebody or some authority to come and say, oh yeah, they're a victim, let's
so popular,
let's give them money, or let's give them access and leniency. It should be the opposite way. People who deserve all those things are people who work hard, put their hours in, and they're fair and honest and ethical, hardworking men and women.
But it seems like it's the other way around now, like in California. Like, you get lower rates on the mortgage.
Right.
If your credit score sucks,
It's insane.
Like, I spent fucking years building my credit score. You know,
Yeah.
I've ruined it twice in my life. I've been broke as a fucking, I don't know, homeless person. Even though nowadays some of them make
Yeah,
decent money,
good money.
so much money that don't make want they want to be homeless. But we can talk about that another day. But and I'm like, this is some bullshit. Not only are we getting fucked with taxes, now we're getting fucked with higher mortgage rates. Now
That's
and
just
it
comical.
pisses me off, dude.
It's
Like I've
comical.
worked my ass off my entire life, you know, to
Yeah.
get to where I'm at today. So do you, just so we can get fucked by Uncle Sam, you know. And it's funny you said they rely on some other people come and say, yeah, he's a victim. It's like I think it was Ronald Reagan who was giving a speech, I believe, and he said the nine most worst words you can hear in your life if somebody tells you, hello, hi, I'm from the government, I'm here to help.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. I
remember
remember that.
Like, dude, that makes so much
Yeah.
sense, man.
Yeah. It's a big old lie.
Crazy. That's a big old lie.
Yeah.
You know?
As a matter of fact, I was shopping for a car recently. I should have said, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go and win my credit. I'll be back. Give me a better rate."
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Because they're
crazy,
like,
man.
"Oh, we can give you a good rate as long as your credit is like tier one or is a really good rate." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. My credit is good." But I guess it's supposed to be the opposite now. If you have poor credit, you get a better rate on the car.
It's crazy, man. I don't even know. I don't know. It's the prices of cars, I think, went up by like 65% or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But people's salaries, went up by like nothing, single digits, if or low double digits, something like that.
But people are still buying. That's not another crazy fact.
Yeah.
The housing market is insane. All the goods and all the whatever you look at, groceries to cars to apparel, people are still buying. Our economy is still growing, but we're in bad times, but we're still growing, so nothing makes sense.
It is and it is not. California economy is not doing so well right now. We were doing really good during the COVID times. But we spent money on a lot of stupid shit. In California, and I was just watching a video today. Texas right now is booming. And I'm pretty happy, that for owning real estate in Texas, it's just the whole state economy is booming, and part of it is due to the fact that obviously the way the Texas government is being run, but part is also because a lot of people from different states, specifically California, are leaving California and going to Texas. Yeah, there's ways that they're actually destroying that economy. Like they raise the real estate market. They're bringing some of that certain views, certain woke views, and agenda and bullshit into the state. But the economy is booming. You know?
Well, a lot of people, like you said, they're leaving. Hardworking people from California, they're like, they're pissed off with everything that's happening here in the state, and finding a better place in a different state. And I guess wherever they take the skills to, it's gonna improve and get better. So whether it's Miami, Florida, to Arizona or Texas, those are hot markets right now.
Florida is a very business friendly state. So
I mean,
Texas.
the housing in the just past 2 years has doubled in Florida, if not tripled.
Yeah.
The
But
real
in
estate.
Florida or Miami? Because Miami is a
Miami.
different beast.
Right.
See, you have LA in California, and then you
Right.
have Miami in
Well,
Florida.
the Miami area.
Because
yeah,
I keep an eye on real estate,
Yeah.
but it's like, okay, Miami, I'm not touching that. I'm not coming anywhere close to Miami. But like Fort Lauderdale, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, specifically like in the Miami area.
Yeah.
Because where you got the water and you got the young crowd and the fun stuff. Everybody wants to be
Miami,
there.
dude. I know you do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good place to. That's a good place to be. Good place to be for. I don't know. When was the last time you went? It's been a while for me.
Before the pandemic, yeah.
So it's been kind of a while.
It's been a while.
Still a wild place.
So,
I went. Yeah, I went.
I think
Actually,
it's
right
still a
before
wild
the
place.
pandemic too. Yeah, actually, I did too. Something like that.
It's always been a wild place. It'll continue to be a wild place.
Miami, dude. Time to go. All right. Moving on to the next topic. And by the way, what I'm reading here today is a few things I want to discuss with Steve is the things that we learn and the importance of having the benefits. We can talk about the drawbacks too, but mostly the benefits of certain things like immigrant background and mindset, having a balanced life, and a few more things we'll discuss, how that benefits you when you develop as a man, as a person, right? So the next point, we'll talk about the immigrant mindset and our background and how that helped us become who we are. And then the next point that you brought up earlier when we were talking about before the recording, you said having a balanced life. Okay. Tell me why do you think having a balanced life is important? And in your opinion, I was talking about that to my girl the other day. What parts require more emphasis in life to have a balanced life? Like relationship, work, business, fitness, spiritual life, emotional? Like, what in your opinion is requires a lot more work than other aspects?
I think your health, your physical and your mental health.
Definitely.
Because if you're healthy, you're able to do more physical work. You're able to be out there. If you're psychologically not healthy, you cannot do that same work. You cannot do it well. So to have a balanced life at work, with your relationships, I think you gotta first look inside. You gotta first look at yourself. What are you doing right? Are you exercising? Are you keeping your weight off? Or do you have good energy? And then at the same time, are you letting your body rest so you can psychologically and physically be ready for any endeavor, any challenge? Because life is going to throw all sorts of challenges at you, and you got to be ready to deflect, you know, and dodge, and go through some challenges,
Yeah.
and power through. Because if you become a victim and you start crying, you're not going anywhere.
No.
You're not gonna get much
No.
done.
You
So you
know.
gotta pay attention to yourself. I always say you gotta take care of yourself, and then you will be able to take care of your most loved ones. You
Yeah.
gotta to be there for your girlfriend, for your parents, for your, I don't know, your employees, whoever you're responsible for. If you're not healthy, if your energy isn't there, and your physical health and your mental health isn't there, everybody you care about is gonna suffer or just be at a loss. Because otherwise, you'll be able to be there for those people and do lots of good things for them.
But you know what's crazy? When you realize that, and when you start changing your life,
Mhm.
and you start taking care of yourself, some people around you start to think that you're being selfish because they become threatened by you.
Mhm.
They become maybe jealous of you, and they become how to say you're changing your ways,
Mhm.
and sometimes it scares people. Okay, but to be successful, you gotta change your ways. You gotta be willing to give up who you are now
Mhm.
to
To
become who
better.
a better version. And it's crazy, dude. It's
But I think I'm a big believer in your mindset.
yeah.
You gotta put your mind to it and do whatever it takes. I honestly don't care about the noise. If people are gonna be scared, they're gonna talk smack, whatever they want to say. You know, I know what I gotta do, and I get it done. I love when people follow and take my recommendations and my advice.
Yeah.
Being a dentist, doctor in the medical field. Being able to give people advice and people take that with some weight. I love it when people follow and follow my advice and follow sometimes even my footsteps.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of reading. I talk to a lot of medical professionals too, and there's a lot of good information out there that you
Yeah.
can just even get from YouTube. And there's a lot of things that we know for sure are good for you, but we still don't do it. It's so easy to get
Why do
carried
you think
away
is that? Why do you think people might know that? Okay, like I don't know,
because sometimes
and they don't
doing the
do it.
right thing is more difficult. Like
Exactly.
exercising. I mean, not a single sane person will say exercise is bad for you. We all know exercise
Yeah,
is good.
any exercise is better than no exercise.
Yeah. So, but what percent of the population does exercise?
Oh God, man. 70. I think 70% of our population here in the United States are obese, dude.
That's
70%
crazy.
of people in this nation are obese.
And we have so many health sicknesses and health problems that are
Yeah.
attributed to the diet and the pandemic of the obesity itself.
Both
You know,
both mental and
it drains
physical.
you.
Yeah.
When I've done, me, I've done fasts, I've done intermittent
Yeah,
fasting, I've done three,
you and
four
your
day
fast, man.
fasting.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
eating less gives me more energy.
That's true. I fasted. Not crazy like you. I don't even look at him like that, man. I'm not gonna try your routine. Yeah, don't even think
One
about it.
day, one day, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
win a
doing no.
bet.
I'm not doing no 2 3 day fast.
I'm
No,
gonna win
dude.
a bet against you, make you do
No,
fast.
no. I'm gonna kill somebody, dude. No, I'm gonna go into like a hunger rage. But fasting is great. Is
Yeah.
definitely great. Yeah.
So then again, if I didn't eat for 3, 4 days, I had more energy. I had better mental clarity.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like imagine you just wake up, you had a good night rest, you had you're healthy, you feel great. You wake up, you want to accomplish. Imagine having that feeling and not having eaten for 3 days. You're like,
I don't know about 3 days.
I was like, how does that work? At first, my very first day was a cold turkey. My friend was like, hey, do you want to fast? I was like, sure. How many days? 3. I'm like, 3. I was like, no, wait, that was too
Crazy.
many. He was like, yeah, let's stick together and get it done. I was like, sure. Anyways, after the 3rd day, I was like, oh my God, this feels good. I was hungry, very hungry at times, because it comes and goes in swings.
Yeah.
But I felt so
Drink
good.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt clear in my mind and I felt more energetic, especially once it became like a routine. Oh man.
Did I tell you I'm going to fast in a couple of weeks, in a few weeks.
For how long?
F- um, for at least a few weeks, or for a month, maybe even after that.
Like, what do you
Like,
mean? Like a complete fast? Oh, I didn't know.
no, not crazy like you, man. Calm down. Like, like 18, no, like 16/8 type of thing.
No, intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a life.
Yeah, I'm trying to drop under 10% body fat.
Yeah. That's a lifelong commitment. I think everybody should be on that kind of a
Yeah,
fasting diet or restrictive eating.
because that's
It's
how
not really
humans.
a diet; it's a restrictive eating. So you restrict yourself to a certain time, and preferably cut away some of the bad things that you're eating, like
Yeah,
all the sugars and all the crazy carbs, and all the oily, greasy stuff that we eat as fast food.
give your
And
system a break.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, let the bad bacteria go away and
yeah,
let the good bacteria in your gut, come and flourish. Because your gut dictates a lot of your mood. It dictates a lot of your energy. The health of your gut and the bacteria in your gut. So by eating correctly and eating intermittently and
yeah,
occasional long-term fasting, you're promoting the good bacteria in your gut. So
yeah,
it stabilizes your insulin levels, it stabilizes your overall energy and your
yeah.
cravings, your hunger, your mental clarity.
Recent studies actually show that fasting helps longevity
Hmm.
because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe fasting helps telomere repair, the part
Hmm.
of the chromosome that's responsible for lo- um, longevity, and fasting helps with that. But I know for a fact fasting helps die out weak cells.
Hmm.
So it goes after when you fast, your body goes after the weak cells, cancerous cells, and fat.
So
Uh,
what happens with fasting? It triggers your stem cells into a growth phase,
mhm.
growth and repair. So when you do it, but you got to do at least a few days of fasting. I think intermittent fasting is great, but to trigger the stem cells into a repair mechanism with the growth hormone and everything, you got to do it for a few days. That's why initially you have higher stress, like in that first couple of days where you're fasting, you have higher stress, you have higher inflammation markers in your body, you have actually low testosterone for just a short period of time.
Yeah,
But then once you gently break your fast, carefully you start eating again, your testosterone actually doubles and triples. Your inflammation goes down 2 to 3 times, and
that part is true.
yeah, and you trigger your stem cells into growth mode.
Yeah.
So it helps with repair and just overall being
I
healthy.
learned today that my blood work came in. I saw my physician, and she's like, apparently I have too much testosterone. I was like, no such thing. Don't you dare say
Give
that
me
to my
more.
face. She's like, we can try to lower. I'm like, no, no. So don't talk to me about lowering my testosterone right now. I was
Hey,
like,
that's the product of you eating healthy and
yeah,
working out and taking
yeah,
good care of your body. You're alpha male. You're supposed to have good testosterone, unless God forbid you have any health
yeah.
weaknesses. But
But
um,
just a few months ago, I wasn't there, dude. I think like around, around like November time.
hmm
I was I actually ended up in urgent care.
hmm
Our friend Mike's urgent care,
hmm
and I did some blood work, and my T levels were low, dude. But I was it my stress drove me to that point.
yeah,
I was, work, business, life, everything just caught up to me, dude. I was stretching myself thin without knowing because I'm constantly on the grind.
balance. Talked about
And
balance.
yes, amen, brother. And I end up at his urgent care, and he did a full test on me, and you know what he ordered me to do that day? This was his prescription medication to me that and I kid you not, you can ask Mike. You know what it is? He said, "Go home, lay on the couch, turn TV on, and relax.
Yeah,
That's what I need you to do today."
yeah,
He's like, I looked like you looked like a ghost,
yeah.
And but right now, dude, I'm happy. I'm in, my test came great. As a matter of fact, uh, the doctor was like, usually because she did the whole in-body test,
Mhm.
with the BMI, water, the muscular
Yeah.
percentage, everything. It's like we used to see because it's like a chart. There's like under, over, and optimal is in the center.
hmm
So most of my stuff is optimal, but obviously some were like over, like the I forgot what it was, but like nothing major. And she's
hmm
like, usually I see people on the right side where they're either overweight or have serious problems or
hmm
low testosterone or this and that. Like, obviously I can tell by looking at you and looking at your blood work from the inside that you're taking care of
You take
yourself.
care of
But
yourself.
most of the people that come see me, they're on that spectrum, dude.
Because most of the people eat very poorly.
Yeah.
They're always out. They're always eating all this greasy junk food. They're not exercising. Let's be
No.
honest. Most of our friends, I mean, you have your close circle and your extended circle. How many of your friends exercise? I have my friends, my circles. I could say majority don't exercise. You know,
Yeah.
It's sad, but and I've gone through periods, guilty myself, periods where I blame life and stuff, and I kind of lose my touch with my balance and don't exercise and
Yeah.
maybe don't eat as healthy as I should be. But trying to refocus. Currently, I'm in that phase where for 7 months or so I wasn't really exercising much because of the personal and work
Yeah.
issues I was having. Um, but now got to refocus, rebalance. Where I got to do my stuff at work. I got to have my relationships. Be there for my parents, my inner circle, and take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not healthy, if you're gone, imagine one day you're not here. Who's gonna care about your accomplishments?
Nobody, dude.
Nobody.
That's the thing.
They may talk about you once in a while. It's great. Our friends will remember us, but it goes all up poof in the air.
Yeah.
And then nobody's gonna really enjoy it. Nobody's gonna, uh, you know, it's just gonna go in thin air.
But at the end of the day, like that's exactly what I'm trying to tell these young dudes that I talk to. I'm like, what is your purpose in life? Because one day this life is gonna end,
Mm-hmm.
and people will forget about you as a person for the most part, unless you create something so impactful or leave something so impactful after yourself. However, you have a lot of opportunities to change other people's lives.
Oh yeah.
So when you're gone, even if they forget about you, that you've changed that person's lives for the better.
For sure.
And just knowing that and being aware of that is like, it drives me, it gives me purpose in life. And that's what I do, and that's what the name of the podcast is, Purpose Over Pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what young men forget, man. They all trying to like seek pleasure all the time. They drink, they do drugs, they have sex with these OnlyFans girls and, watch porn. So I'm guilty of all of that myself. I've wasted stupid amounts of time doing stupid shit, and, being in college and just being single, a bachelor, making good money. And I know you did too, but it's not like I have any regrets. But we were still moving forward in life. Like no matter what we did,
we're still balanced.
We found balance, and we
Yeah.
never lost our purpose and our vision
Mm-hmm.
in life. And I think it's okay if you have fun in your 20s, maybe even in your 30s, but as long as you're doing something in life, as long as you're moving towards something. But when you completely lost your reason to live your life and to have purpose or any vision, and all you do is just indulge in these destructive habits like overeating, sex, drinking, and partying, and not take care of your body, what is the point? Like, what are you gonna leave after yourself?
Exactly. And it's the journey, not the destination. Imagine our lives are like a train track,
Yeah.
and we're headed on that. We're in that train. Yes, you at the station you board, and then at the end in your deathbed, it don't really matter.
No.
Doesn't matter when you were born. You're at the station. Doesn't matter when you're on your deathbed or close to it. The first decade of life is you're learning, you're growing. But it is on an individual level, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
Same with the last decade or so of a person's life, maybe pretty meaningless as an older person, not really doing much. It's the journey that matters,
Yeah.
and you gotta stay like you said, with a purpose in your train tracks. You gotta try to find what your purpose is. You gotta try where it is you want to head to and what kind of journey you want to take. And for some people it's a different thing. I was lucky enough to know I wanted to be a dentist since I was a kid,
Yeah.
following my dad's footsteps. So my train tracks led me to become a dentist, and in that journey, in those tracks, going from point A to point B and all throughout, I was still in that. I had my own path. I still had my vision, my dedicated train track that I was following, and of course having all the fun things that you mentioned, and then some. We can't just have one boring train burning on fire,
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to your deathbed,
Yeah.
But you got to do all those things to have a balanced path.
Yeah.
But now forgetting where you're headed, and like you said, living a good,
Yeah.
leading by example and being a good example, a role model for other people. For me individually, I directly love the fact that I can affect my patients' health and their livelihood. I love that I can be a mentor to young kids,
Yeah.
people in undergrad, in college, in dental school. I do have some mentees. I've helped get into dental school. They're currently in dental school. There are people from undergrad that reach out to me that I talk to, and I love the fact that I can cut a piece of myself sometime, an hour a week, whatever it may take, and talk to those kids and show them that I've gone through their
You've been
footsteps.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I've
You've been
taken
there.
the same footsteps that they're in now. I know exactly what they're feeling. I know exactly what it's gonna take. And I'm like, hey, this is the process. This is what you gotta take. Stay committed, and this is what you could achieve. You know,
Yeah.
the destination in your professional career.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that I can, in all those different disciplines, on all those different levels, affect different people.
Yeah.
And then when I'm gone, you know, all those people are hopefully a little better place because of me.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest percentage, but they're a little better because of the advice I've given and the
Yeah.
clarity I've given to them. And they can be a little better for other people, you know, and that's a ripple effect.
That's all it is, man. It's, we've been mentored by people who have gone through it, our mentors, right? How to achieve certain level of success. And once we get there, just pay back.
Yeah.
Just, not necessarily to the same person. Pay forward,
Yeah.
pay forward. And I think I definitely agree with you on that one.
And a really funny and a good example that has happened to me is at the time when I was still very much deep into debt. I was barely making any money, and my sister was dating, and one of my sisters at the time, and we would go out with them, and her boyfriend and then later fiance would always pay. Every time we would go out, I'd be like, "Hey man, I gotta pay." It's like, "No, Steve, you're still in college. We're not working. I got you. I'm your big brother. I got you. I got us. You just stay committed. You gotta stay in school, do well, but don't worry about money. When you're working, you're making money, you're gonna pay."
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Now, thank God I'm able to afford certain things, and now I pay whatever I want, whatever I can for them. And now I have my little brothers who I'm helping get to that level.
Yeah.
And when we go out, I'm like, put your hand back into your pocket. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
not paying for anything. I got us. When you get older, 10 years later, when you're working, you're gonna pay for other things. You're gonna come give me gifts, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
you if you want whatever there needs to be paid, you'll pay.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. And I love it because I was mentored by my sister's boyfriend at the time, my older brother, as a good role model who was like, just focus on your school.
Yeah.
He helped me with statements. He helped me with the process too. You
Yeah.
know. But the little things, I mean, that's a silly thing, right? Paying when we go out. But he gave me that thing, that confidence. Hey, don't worry about
encouragement.
money. Yeah, I got us.
Yeah.
And then later you get us and you get somebody else.
That's what it comes down to, dude. A lot of dudes out there, and I know it's coming from your culture, it's coming from my culture too, bro. Like, try to shit on each other, man. Once I entered a certain world of business, and I got my mentors and around successful people, truly successful people, successful in all aspects of life, dude, they bring each other up.
Of course.
I'm yet to see like that hate. Yeah, there's a lot of assholes everywhere, but like all of my mentors and people around them, and or like even us, dude, we're both successful in our own ways, but same thing like I have towards my other friends. I just want us to all succeed, man.
Yeah.
There's plenty of money to make for everyone. There's plenty of room still on this earth. Like, why waste your energy on trying to shit on somebody else's game?
Yeah.
Just help each other out.
So
grow together.
You've heard the saying, you are the
Byproduct of your environment.
Yeah, and your closest 5 friends dictate, kind of tell you who you are and where you're gonna be. So why would you want your friends or the people closest to you not do well, and the people that you interact with? If it's somebody you don't interact with, you shouldn't care about whether they're good or bad, right? In a way, but if there's somebody who in your circle, why would you want them to be bad? That basically is gonna come and
Bite you
affect
in the
you.
ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's gonna
Yeah.
affect you.
But then another side of the medal is, what do you do when your closest 5 friends are not at the level where you want to be?
Get
Because
yourself out.
that happens a lot more common
Mhm.
than the first one. Okay.
Yeah, could be.
That's a tough one to break through.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to break. From
Again, you
most
you
people.
gotta have the purpose. You gotta have a path of where you want to be. If your friends are drug addicts and you're constantly in a bad environment where you're not being productive, you're not getting anything done, you're just giving yourself into easy pleasure, that's where you're headed, and that's where you're gonna be in that slump.
Well, but what about not drug addicts? Let's not go. Let's not go to extreme. Let's say.
Well, whatever it is, that can
let's
be.
say- I'm just being
it's an
devil's
easy-
advocate.
An easy example because it's easy to follow. Whatever situation you're in, if it's not leading to anything purposeful,
Yeah.
is that where you want to be later, 2 years, 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a less purposeful situation that you're in? Or you want to put yourself in a position where you'll be two, three, five, 10 times better, more, making more money, having better things, bigger things.
Yeah.
That's just a decision you got to make, and you got to can be committed to that decision. You can't just flip flop back and forth. If you flip flop, it's the same thing. Like a ping pong, it'll be in the same on the same table, same position.
You got to be intentional
Yeah.
with everything you do in your life.
Yeah.
Right? That I told you. Remember when we were having a cigar the other night? I told
Mhm.
you, man. I'm very intentional with everything
Purposeful.
I do. Yeah.
So what's the reason you're doing
and
it?
the time is ticking, bro. Once you start to realize the value of time, it really hit me one day, and it hit me when I really started following, my purpose and working on myself and doing a lot of self mastery work. When you realize that your time is fucking limited,
Yeah.
I do not want to spend it on the couch binge watching some bullshit ass TV shows or watching not even action movies, dude. Like I used to love to watch
Mhm.
comic book movies and like sci-fi movies.
But that could be part of your balance. I mean, you gotta have a time to relax. You gotta have a time to unwind and
Yeah.
not think. Sometimes I'll be honest, I'm so tired. Like those things you mentioned, I love doing some once in a
I'm
while.
talking about like binge watching stuff.
Yeah,
You know
I
when you
mean,
sit down and you
for like
watch
5 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to like Stranger Things. It's a great show.
Uh-huh.
The first and second seasons I binge watched them, dude. After that, after like my life shifted,
Hmm.
I can give two shits about to Stranger Things or whatever,
Yeah.
or video games.
Those things
all
are
that.
good. Have like an hour a day or whatever, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes when you're having lunch in the evening, 1 hour
Yeah.
you want to just relax. I think it's totally fine to
Yeah.
do those things, but not 5, 6 hours, 3 times a week.
No.
And then
no.
you're throwing a significant amount of your time away.
Yeah.
If you think about, like, you gotta sleep to, we all gotta sleep, right? It's 5 hours or 7 hours. That's a good chunk of your day. And then there's usually about 8 hours that we gotta commit to work.
Yeah.
So out of your free time, you have very limited each day.
Yeah.
You gotta be very careful and, like you said, intentional, deliberate about how you spend those 4, 5, 6 hours that you may have in the day, after your other responsibilities, your work, your car troubles, whatever, your sleep, which is very important. You gotta have your sleep.
Yeah.
The other 5 hours, you gotta be careful how you spend it, and be
Yeah.
intentional about how you spend it.
100%. What about you mentioned earlier that you won't be able to help anybody else if you can't help yourself. And I know you had to go through some tough times, especially had to put in a lot of hard work. There's a saying I heard the other day. Uh, it says you can judge the size of a man by the size of his problems.
Mm. Yeah, that's a
Think
good one.
about it,
Yeah.
right? You remember the problems that we had when we were in our teens,
Mhm.
the problems that we had when we were in our 20s. I mean, the problems that I have now in my 30s, my 20-year-old will probably shitting bricks.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact in my 40s, if I'll be looking back at my dad like, what, man?
Yeah. Get out. Yeah.
Shit ain't nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But that's part of growth.
yeah,
But I do like that saying.
Yeah.
The bigger your problems, that means the more
bigger size of
you've
the man.
undertaken.
yeah,
The more you've undertaken, the more you're trying to get accomplished.
yeah,
And being a recent business owner myself, at the beginning, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was shitting bricks of, oh my God, this has happened, that happened. How do I address that problem? Now I'm like, oh, yeah, that's nothing. Now my fellow new business owners, I'm talking, oh yeah, this is how you're gonna feel. Don't be
Yeah.
careful. It's coming.
Businessman, taxes, payroll,
Everything.
people, different personalities to deal with, optimizing everything, growing and having to grow and keep up with the technology and everything is like,
Yeah. Well, again, you gotta be deliberate with what you do. What is that you want to accomplish? In dentistry, we have a mentality that we preach that we're supposed to follow. We always say have the end in mind. So if let's say somebody has lost a tooth and we're trying to build their mouth, their bite, their tooth back up, they're like, where is that tooth supposed to fit into their mouth, and reverse engineer. Because you can do surgery, you can do all this grafting, you can put implants, titanium, blah, 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 all these things. And then when you get to the end, none of that fits into where the actual tooth is supposed to fit. And then you're like, okay, sometimes, for example, a surgeon may do the surgery, and then a restorative general dentist may need to restore whatever surgery they did to correct whatever problem was. And the dentist is like, I can't restore it. So at the very end, the finish line, we can't cross the finish line because the surgery and all the stuff that precedes were not done with the end in mind. So it's a very good mentality to have in general in life. Reverse engineer of where you want to be. Reverse engineer. You want to get to, for example, have $1 million by age of 40. Okay, write that number on a piece of paper. What is it going? 12 months, 12 years, whatever. How long? How much time do you have? What is it gonna take to get there? You want to lose weight. Write it on paper. I think that's a very good thing. Write it on paper. Let your eyes see it. And reverse engineer. What do you gotta do? What is it gonna take for you to get to that part? And when you're on paper, when it's in front of you, when it's on your wall, you see it.
Yeah.
There's a very higher chance of you actually being able to accomplish it, as opposed to if you think about it in your mind, you keep reminding yourself, it's in your mind. It's always going to stay in your mind, unless you intentionally, purposefully take action. But when it's in front of you on a piece of paper on a billboard, the effects of that are much higher than just repeating in your head.
100%. That's why I have a whiteboard here. I have a whiteboard. I have 2 whiteboards in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, it might not even match with the whole bedroom setup because, bedroom's supposed to be the bedroom. But I don't give a shit, man. I wake up and I got to look at my whiteboard and I got to look at my
genius idea in the middle of the night. You got to write it down.
Yeah, I got to do. I keep a little track line of my cold showers. Just I have not breaking the streak, man. Every 5 days, and 4 lines, 1 across. 4 lines, 1 across. Every 5 days.
You're crazy.
I am
Cold showers,
not
I would
breaking my
not be
cold
able
shower
to.
streak. You're gonna have to kill me, dude. That
is insane.
That drinking my 20 ounces of water, and saying 3 gratitudes and 3 affirmations, and cold shower is my must, dude. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what I'm doing. It's and sometimes if I miss it in the morning, let's say there's some kind of everything's going to shit that day or whatever, I gotta leave the house and not take the cold shower. I will take a cold shower before I go to sleep that day, just to punish myself. I will. There's been times like I kind of like didn't do it at home, but I had to run out and take care of stuff, and I would come back and I would still take a cold shower.
Like a bad boy. Get back into the cold shower.
Yeah, it's my way of like proving like that you like I've even punished myself like multiple times. Oh, you missed it in the morning, motherfucker. Okay, you're gonna take one in the afternoon and then go home before you sleep. You're gonna take another cold shower. I don't give a fuck if it's gonna interrupt your sleep. But you will take a cold shower.
There is, I mean, cold showers, the fasting, all those things that we talked about. Those are really, really difficult things, right?
Not really.
No,
they're not. But they're not.
At the beginning, it is. Later, it does not. But here's a very interesting point that I love, that I feel. And I'm sure you feel the same thing, and you're going to agree with me in just a second once I make my point. The fasting, the culture, all those things we talked about, and there's a million other things that are really good for you that you're supposed to do. But one thing that I really enjoy that I'm able to do is just the good thing that I feel about myself actually accomplishing something so difficult in my mind. In my mind, I'm being a foodie, fasting for 3 days, not eating anything. That's a huge accomplishment. The culture, I cannot even imagine. Like, I still have never tried cold showers. I don't know what's it gonna take for me to ever attempt one. But if you can accomplish something so difficult, which is not difficult, like you said, it could be just something. I just hit a mental switch. Like, I'm not gonna eat for 3 days. Boom, and I stay to it.
See, for me, it looks crazy. How about this?
But once you accomplish it, then in your mind, not only it's healthy, there's so much health benefits. We talked about the health benefits earlier, but also a sense of accomplishment. You as a man, as a dude, you accomplished something so challenging. To me, not eating for 3 days, it could be easy if you make the switch and it's a path you build into a habit. It becomes easier, but that's pretty difficult. A sense of hunger, that's one of the strongest senses out there. After before you get to love and all that crazy stuff, but
lust.
Yeah, but sense of hunger. I mean, people kill each other. People rob and do all these crimes and stuff because they're hungry. A day or two, they're going crazy. You yourself being an alpha male, you're like, I cannot eat for like more than, if it's about past 12 hours, that's it. I want to kill somebody, But imagine you accomplish it. For me, it's a huge sense of accomplishment. If I can do that, I can do anything, man. So, I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way with your cold showers.
All right, Steve. Fine.
Did I convince you?
Fine.
All right.
At some point before the year is over, I'll do the 3-day fast. I promise you. But under one condition.
Did I do the cold shower?
No, not a cold shower. The ice plunge with me.
Oh my God.
If you want to take a cold shower equivalent, I'll do 1 day of fast. But if you only do 3 days of fast,
how long is the plunge?
You're gonna go into the ice plunge with me.
For how long?
For a minute.
That's tough.
Okay. So I'll give you a cold shower. Then I'm only
but that's like letting a car go over your hand. That's painful.
3 days of fast, my friend. That is painful.
I was playing basketball the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I got work next day. I want to ice my hand so
Yeah.
it doesn't get sore and
Yeah.
everything. I hadn't played it in a while. So I got a big bucket, put some ice in it and
Yeah.
water, and I was like, well, at home I'm going to ice my hand so it doesn't get sore. And I put 1,000, 1,000. I'm like, like
Yeah.
10 seconds later, I'm like, what the? It hurts.
Yeah,
It was
it
crazy.
does.
It burns.
No, don't say that. People not never gonna want to do it. Okay, I'm not
Well,
saying like just literally a whole tub filled with ice. I'm talking about like dump some ice in there when it's nice and cold, where the ice is not melting immediately, and there's some ice still floating there. You know, it's a few degrees warmer.
uh-huh.
It's
Well, I was thinking more like an icy lake in Alaska or somewhere, or Siberia, and
I'm
just
not gonna send you to Alaska thinking it's cold. Are you crazy, dude? We're just gonna go buy it. Man. Oh, my friend has it.
no, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe as a personal challenge,
Uh,
as a trigger,
Yeah.
why not to trigger into put myself into something more
yeah.
purposeful? You know,
Yeah, I love the fact that you said that it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it's crazy because that's exactly how I feel. And I had a talk today with one of my mentors, Bedros Koulian, and the topic of discussion he brought up, started the call with, is three things, three V's that we need, okay, as men in our lives. We need have vision, we need to have values, and we need to have victories. Okay, vision, purpose, right? We need to have values that we don't standards that we don't break for anybody. We have to have our own standards, our values too, and then victories. Those victories are important.
of course.
So they're doing the fast, doing the cold shower, you know, it changes my day, bro. Or a workout. One thing I didn't do today because I was extremely tired, and I'm keep beating myself the whole day today. I woke up and I didn't work out before I started my day, and every single fucking time that happens to me, if I don't start my day with a workout first, and I think I'm gonna have time to do it later,
End up not doing it.
and it's just in the back of my mind, dude. And that's why it doesn't matter what time I finish this podcast. And it's already nighttime. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna get after it because I won't sleep all that night, and I'll eat myself the next day. I have to punish myself. Like, I'm sadistic when it comes sometimes to myself, but that's my way of dealing with myself. Like, I will be sadistic to myself, but then it will make me love myself more. I'm not saying like torture myself or cut myself. No, I'll put myself through some misery, like cold showers, workouts, like intense workouts, but I'll sleep better at night, just like you after a fast.
I mean, it seems intense. I mean, the cold showers to you, you're fine because you've done it. It's not intense anymore. Fasting for me, I do it regularly. It's not intense anymore. It's a perception of what you're doing. And you need the workouts. Those things, whatever you do, has a meaning for your health, has a meaning for your mental psyche, for your to stay focused and feel that sense of accomplishment and continue doing whatever you're doing. So whatever you think is punishment or extreme, it may not be. It's actually a way of your thought, your perception into what you're actually doing. Because in your eyes, it may be one thing. In my eyes, it may be another thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes to accomplish something great, all you have to do is just recalibrate your view of whatever it is. You recalibrate your purpose and recalibrate your mental dedication to that.
Definitely. It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
Mind is power.
Dude, wherever mind goes, the body follows.
Yeah. It's
true.
You gotta have your mind, but also you gotta have actions.
Oh, yeah.
You can say all those things, you can write all those things down, but you gotta take intentional, deliberate actions, which yield into results. Your thoughts, your mind is what sets the tone, but your actions are what's gonna produce the product.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can have all those thoughts, you can have all those great ideas and all those wonderful thoughts in the middle of the night and day and night, and nothing could ever be done.
Yeah.
But if you're purposefully, putting the stuff in your head into action, to fruition, that's when you come in your efforts. That's when you become successful.
You can accomplish anything you want in your life. I believe in that. As long as you take action, you don't have to know everything about it. Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction.
There we go. Perfect inaction.
It's essentially the same thing as Bruce Lee said. I think he said, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. So you can know everything.
Exactly.
Like you said earlier, you can know it all.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing anything without it, about it, or with it, what are you gonna accomplish?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly. And one of my favorite quotes, which is a popular one that a lot of people might have heard, is that the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that one
Yeah,
because sometimes we it's easy to point finger and say, oh, he got
he's
lucky, oh, he
lucky.
comes from
Yeah,
money, or his dad was a dentist, he wanted to become a dentist, or he got some easy situation he fell into his environment, whatever. But there's so much hard work behind all those things. Unless, yeah,
yeah,
you just buy one thing in the lottery, you win the lottery. Okay, I get you can be devil's advocate, but there's so much more hard work that goes behind into building a career, building a relation, building a company, and people may generalize and say, "Oh, he got lucky in a way," and all
right.
those little wins you get because you've put in the seeds into the ground
Yeah, over
but
time.
over time, and that's hard work. And then something pops up and you're like, oh, I got lucky, I got this nice tree growing in my backyard. No, you
Yeah,
planted that seed maybe a year ago,
yeah, or
you know
years ago.
years ago, whatever that little action, that all the hard work, all the little things and daily, all the new networking contacts you made, you could have made a really good friend and a really good contact
Yeah,
at some event that you were in, you were working hard, you guys clicked, and then 10 years later, 5 years later, whatever years later, that person ends up helping you out in a really good way. Did you
yeah,
end up getting lucky, or you worked hard
yeah,
because you were there at the time, you were doing your due diligence, you were networking, you were working
yeah,
hard at the time, that ended up later giving you a good product?
yeah,
So were you lucky that you got the product, or were you hardworking,
yeah,
and then you put yourself in a position to get that, whatever it is? And there's so many little things. If you look at your path, if you look back, you can see so many things that you have accomplished over the past 5 years, 10 years. That you're like, oh, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have this.
yeah.
But when you have this, sometimes you don't even value. You don't think twice about it. But that's a product of all the hard work you've done over the years. That's why at the beginning, you gotta have the purpose. You gotta have commitment to the vision of where you want to head. Know your tracks. Build a track. Have an end vision. Reverse engineer, and
Yeah,
along the way, you can have so many successes. Big
100%.
wins and little wins.
Little ones are the ones that lead you to big wins. The little
Yeah.
wins, the victories that gives you confidence,
Hmm.
and the confidence, gives you competence. And
Hmm.
then with that, you're able to make better decisions, take higher calculated risks.
Hmm.
It's people see when, like I said, when you said people see you being successful and they call you lucky, but behind closed doors, it's a fucking grind, man.
Oh yeah.
It's months and years. Like you said earlier, it's a lot of missed parties.
Hmm.
It's a lot of missed events. It's a lot of, oh, you've changed. It's a lot of shit talk. It's a
Hmm.
lot of, you don't even know me or call me no more. No, I'm different person.
Yeah.
I'm a different person. Or it's a lot of, you've changed. Like, well, no shit, motherfucker. I worked so hard for so fucking long to be the same
Yeah.
person. Nah,
Exactly.
you won't drag me down back there.
Yeah.
It won't happen. I refuse to.
And you're gonna have setbacks. I mean, you and I both have setbacks. We've had challenges. I've had nights where I couldn't fall asleep thinking about this problem I've had, and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna go through it and have less damage, minimize my damages? And then you're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have troubles. You're gonna make mistakes, and that's how we learn. That's how we grow. It's another one of my good, quotes that I love is, we were supposed to be smart. Smart people learn from their own mistakes. Even smarter people learn from other people's mistakes.
Oof.
So you gotta learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You're smart if you make mistakes because you learn
Yeah.
from it. You get better. You get
It's
smarter.
inevitable.
Inevitable. We got it. Nobody's 100% human. But at the same time, it's better to learn from other people's mistakes.
I wish,
It's
man.
good to take advice. Good to
Yeah.
learn what people who are possibly ahead of you or have years of experience, to listen what they've accomplished, to listen their path, because there's so much you can learn from it, and you can learn to decipher the information from other people, especially older people that have years of experience more than you, that you can decipher and like, oh,
Yeah.
he got this, how did he get that? Oh, because he worked hard there, he made that contact there. So you gotta keep an open mind and hear people's stories and hear what especially older accomplished people have done.
Yeah.
Listen to that and reverse engineer your own.
That's
No,
how
no
you.
one has one same path. We all have to take all these little bits and pieces of information from all the mentors, all the
Yeah.
information out there, build our own path and reverse engineer it.
Yeah. No, because nobody said you have to reinvent the wheel.
No.
The wheel's been there for centuries. It's
Hmm.
been invented, but it doesn't mean somebody put a wheel on a plane, somebody put a wheel on a train, somebody put a wheel on a car, somebody put a wheel on, God knows, on a fucking robot on Mars.
Yeah.
A wheel is a wheel, but it's different people that use that tool to create different things. And that's why a lot of people don't understand, or they get discouraged, because like me going to the podcast scene, right? I know there's a lot of great podcasters out there, and all those people talking about the same topic, but I know what I want to do with it. I can care less if somebody's been doing this for 5 or 10 years. Like, I know I have a message. I know I can impact people's lives, and that's what I want to do. And I'm going to utilize this tool to the best of my ability to spread my message across, because I believe that I can bring value to people's lives.
And we learn from each other. You do have a great message. You do have a great, I know some of your friends are great folks. Or some of them have been on the podcast. You learn from all these people talking to them. You learn from me. I learn from you, and collectively, we hopefully can reach our audience and
younger men out there.
Yeah, or whoever it gets to. But hopefully, it is a good message. I mean, most of the stuff we were talking about, it can be applied in all age groups, in most age groups, and both men and women. To improve their, livelihood, and get to a higher ground in their life, in their careers, But
trying to be role models.
Yeah,
trying to be role models, which is another thing. Now we kind of digress, but we talk about a lot of good things. Another thing, the next thing, we actually brought us back. You brought us back to the topic. The next thing I was going to talk about is role models. It's funny. I'll tell you a little story. The other day, somebody at work asked me, like, "Oh, Alex, what was it like growing up? Back there, in Russia and in your culture. Like, who are your role models?" It's like, I tell you, who my role models were? Astronauts, engineers, historic figures, warriors like Yuri Gagarin and Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, and other Nikola Tesla. Those are the people that I grew up learning about, like Michelangelo, all of them, action figures, actors, celebrities, sports figures,
social media
influencers. And I don't want to smash on social media influencers, because people will call me social media influencer. I'm utilizing social media to influence, right, to spread my message. So, but as long as you have a message and you're trying to do good and bring value to people, I'm okay with that. But really, dude, like athletes, some bullshit as celebrities, people who just don't have anything good to bring into your life, and they worship those people. It's crazy. It boggles my mind. And she's like, "Oh, really? Like, that's interesting." Because here, like, my kids are growing up right now, and they're like, they love LeBron James, or my daughter loves so and so. And I was like, well, that's the difference in culture. We grew up actually having role models, having actual people who have contributed to society, who accomplished tremendous things, who changed lives and history. Those were all role models. What are the role models these kids have nowadays?
TikTok,
dude. Instagram.
Like, it drives me insane when now I see young kids in any age, in their early teens to as early as sometimes you see 2-year-olds sitting there with iPads and cell phones, just mindlessly scrolling to TikTok and Instagram of whatever pages they're on. And there's very poor content in that. Not only is it just no information, no education, but it's a very bad influence for them. And all that stuff as a young brain, as a young mind, it's like a sponge.
Yeah.
Whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's a sponge. It absorbs everything. Some of our decisions in adulthood are actually some of the product of all the little things that we've collectively acquired in our minds throughout the years. And in our subconscious mind puts a decision together, and you make a decision. That's a collective product of all the information relating to that decision, related to that decision. So here you have these kids from all ages sitting mindlessly looking at TikTok and all this bullshit content on there now, which is that gets more views, that's maybe more interesting, that has absolutely zero meaning behind it. And those kids are mindlessly feeding onto that day after day.
It's like we talked about earlier. What I tell you, I said the reason why I want to help these young dudes, because divorce rates are through the roof. They're like over 50%.
Yeah.
A lot of these cats are growing up without fathers in their household. Okay? They're being taught some bullshit, about feminism, about transgenderism, all these propaganda in schools. They're lost. They don't have any male role models. They don't have any positive role models. Or sometimes they have parents who are crack addicts in and out of prison, haven't accomplished shit with them, themselves in their lives. Just basically nothing going on. And then he's being oppressed by society. He's being told that masculinity is bullshit. And then you have women treating him a certain way and putting him down, making him feel like shit because they're completely masculinizing and destroy masculinity. And then all that environment is being put on him into his subconscious mind,
Mhm.
what kind of decision do you think that young man is going to make with his life? He's going to continue to be fat and sloppy and unsuccessful and boring and just depressed and drink and do drugs and watch porn and make stupid decisions. So he's a product of his environment.
And why do they want people like that?
Simple, brother. You know the answer to that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Control.
Control.
It's
Control.
easy to control. People who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, man.
Mhm.
Every great civilization that had become completely complacent
Mhm.
and liberal, okay, and just fat and lazy and sloppy, was conquered, obliterated, and destroyed by the next
Exactly.
barbaric, nation.
Purposeful
Yeah,
nation.
it happened,
Yeah.
so many different cultures. Look at Rome.
Yeah.
What happened to Rome?
You're comfortable. They
Oh,
got sloppy. They got
they
fat
got
and
sloppy,
start
and it
eating.
happens over and over again. Every certain number of years, every century, the history changes. The whole globe, global economy and politics
When all these things
changes.
are advertised into being good, the stuff that you mentioned, the poor health and bad habits and all that stuff, then you get into that general category of having a lower, critical thinking capacity, and having lower drive. All the marijuana that's being, the,
Like
everybody's smoking.
like
Everybody.
on steroids, like
Yeah.
marijuana on steroids,
It's
dude.
mild. I mean, it's a mild steroid in a way, but well, it's not a steroid.
Now I'm talking about like the THC levels nowadays are crazy. Like when I was in college, dude, we did not have that THC level. Now,
Mhm.
the other day, I saw something on the news. I was like, Jesus Christ, like what kind of THC level is that? That will destroy you. That turn into a vegetable.
Yeah, and then they want those people who are also those substances to be careless and be easily manipulated, easily controlled through a certain platform. It could
Yeah.
be TikTok, it could be Facebook or whatever, Instagram.
Social media.
Yeah, they can easily put a message out there and influence a whole country. For example,
Or
as
nation.
as we know, we're currently going through a war with Ukraine and Russia.
By we, you mean?
The whole world.
No, yeah, that's actually a good one, dude. The
Yeah, it's
whole
the whole
world,
world.
if you don't realize it, the whole world is feeling it.
Yeah, no, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's countries supporting Russia, there's countries supporting Ukraine, and the
Yeah.
United States supporting Ukraine, obviously.
Yeah, massive proxy war too.
Yeah, and we're currently debating our debt ceiling in our financial crisis that we have in our hands, but we're sending billions, tens of hundreds, almost $100 billion to Ukraine for their war efforts.
Of our taxpayers' money.
Of taxpayer money, but we have a very big financial crisis in our hands. But here's the thing: just almost 2 years ago, Armenia went through a war,
Yeah.
Artsakh and Azerbaijan. Nobody cared. Nobody cared twice to even do anything. And when we try to help, United States was like, "Oh, you cannot be supporting a foreign country's war efforts." And there's terroristic and very crimes against innocent people and hospitals being committed by
Yeah.
Azerbaijan. Nobody
Yeah.
cared. Nobody cried. But the second Ukraine war came about, and nothing bad, war is war. There's going to be bad massacres on
No,
both sides.
I know what you're saying.
But
Yeah.
there was a clear message. Oh, we gotta help Ukraine. Oh, we gotta help Ukraine. Bad boy Russia. Well, where was bad boy Azerbaijan and Turkey when they were massacring poor Armenians in hospitals? The hospitals were being bombed. I mean, any kind of war, you gotta leave the civilians out of it. You gotta leave hospitals and kids out of it, right?
Unfortunately,
Azerbaijan was bombing hospitals and churches. Nobody cared. But the second Ukraine goes to war, because it's related to the whatever message they're trying to get across.
Yeah.
All the athletes, and we were talking about athletes, this is why I'm making this point. All the athletes, all the influencers,
Yeah.
now there was a message out there. Oh, we got to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
They use those platforms to control the general masses
Yeah.
who can't think for themselves.
And that's been used for centuries, for thousands of years. Gladiators, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Those gladiator games were used by the emperors when the emperors would start to lose control over the nation and the population.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do? You create an attraction, and you give them some food,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll forget about the problems.
Yeah.
Same shit nowadays. It's the same thing. Football games, basketball games, some bullshit conflicts that don't make any sense, that are inflated out of thin air,
Mhm.
just to keep people occupied.
Yeah.
But behind closed doors, so global movements are being
And
made.
give them marijuana. There's
Yeah.
care even less.
Yeah.
They're gonna get
The
dumbed out.
drugs,
Yeah.
the lust, the sex, the garbage food. It's crazy, man. It's That's what scares me. Like I told you, that's what scares me, man. Just seeing how the world is changing so fast and not for the better. And it's what pisses me off. They're
Yeah, it's
destroying
sad.
destroying masculinity. Because if you want to take over a country, let's I'm not a politician, neither am I a world general. I don't go to wars. You're not either. But it's a common sense question. If you were to take over, let's say if you're a country and I'm a country, if you want to take over my country, what would you do first?
Destroy the intellect. Destroy the people making the smart decisions and the people in charge. And
Let's say even before that, even before you get to them, like on a very primal level, like if your army is what to
take away strength, take away the men.
take away the men, right? Because it's not women
That are
and
fighting.
children and elderly that are fighting. It's now
the men.
women, children, and the really elderly are the ones who holding it down. It's the men. It's masculine men. You take out masculine men, everything will collapse.
Well, look at the whole infrastructure too, not just in the war, in the infrastructure of running a country or having a country. All the unfavorable jobs or undesirable jobs are done by men.
Yeah.
If you take all those jobs out, we will not have a proper society.
Yeah. Like that's what.
Who's gonna take your trash away?
That's why.
Have you seen a
common
single
men-
trash woman?
No.
What?
I've never seen a single female.
All construction
trash
worker.
Construction worker, and they might exist, but I've never seen them, and they're everywhere.
Right.
You drive through constructions, you have people picking up trash at your house every day, and never or oil rig workers, or power line workers, or coal miners. Never, dude. Never.
Well, we can't. At the same time, we can't badmouth our women. Of course,
I'm not bad mouthing women.
right.
You
No,
know
I'm
that.
just saying. But we men have. The point here is men have a role
Yeah.
in society, in families, in relationships,
And purpose.
and women have their role.
Exactly.
But when you start to mix
Yep.
those roles and flip flop them, and start to make men more feminine and make females more masculine, then you have a chaos.
Because you destroyed the whole fabric of society.
You destroy balance.
Yeah. You destroy balance.
You destroy balance. Again, we've talked about balance before. You gotta have a balance. There are certain roles, and those are a lot of it. We may talk about this thing. All those things are great points that would make sense. But some of this, and maybe it's not some, but more like a lot of it, there's there's biologically driven functions that we do as men and females.
Yeah.
That are based. They're in our DNA. Those are in our genes.
XY chromosomes, yeah. But
Yeah.
even that, see, even
So
that
they're
doesn't matter
affecting,
nowadays.
they're
supposedly.
affecting. They're basically creating mutants, right? In a way, like if you talk about movies, Marvel, and that kind of stuff. Biologically, men are male, and there's biological females.
Yeah,
When you start to reverse roles, you're going against biology.
yeah.
You're going against DNA.
Mother
and
Nature.
Yeah.
Like you're going against Mother Nature, and Mother Nature does not make mistakes. It created us. It's created this planet, the whole universe. Like it's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's perfect because we
It's
exist.
working,
We are
yeah.
functional human beings. We don't depend on some extraterrestrials, right? The Mother Nature has created us in itself. If you want to think about it, Big Bang Theory, right? It's created itself somehow and still growing. And now they're challenging like the balance of life, the science. Like I've never would have thought, coming from a science background, and you are extensive science background, right? Have you ever thought that there will become time in your life where people are going to go against science and not respect actual natural laws and facts and scientific facts?
Well, that's kind of crazy where we are in this world now, where people get away with whatever they're trying to get away because of money and because of influence. And how do you influence people? All the bad pleasures we talked about, all the easy pleasures. When their easy pleasures are out there, our hormones, our roles, our purpose is destroyed, they can easily be manipulated. And a certain message will be passed along and whatever else that they're trying to control and pass along. But if you have a purpose, you're not giving to those easy pleasures, you're driven, you have a clear path of where you want to head to, it's going to be more difficult to deviate you from that path and destroy your purpose in your life. So that is part of whatever we just talked about. It's part of a message, a certain thing that they want to do in the world right now.
Yeah.
Which is against what we have been doing, against what science and biology dictates.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, Darwinism.
Darwinism.
If you look at that kind of stuff, they're breeding a society where it's not fit to survive right now
No.
because of all the problems we talked about. But they are doing that because it's going to make them money. It's going to be good for their political campaigns. It's going to be good for whatever purpose they have. And they're now reverse engineering on a mass level.
Yeah.
So where do you want to fit in? You got to ask yourself that. Where do you want to fit in? Do you want to fit in with the general masses and be destroyed and be easily manipulated and be easily influenced by those negative things? Or do you want to have a path? Set the tone yourself.
But I don't want to fit in, and that's why I understand. I've never felt like I fit in, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
I've always had my own path.
Yeah.
I can see a million things, and for me, I'm a bit strict on my own vision. And I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to be. This is who I am. Nothing you say or do will deviate me from who I am and what I do. And whether there's a million people doing a million things their way, I got my own way. I learn from a lot of things, but I am who I am. I constantly improve myself. I constantly listen to good mentors of mine, people who are friends of mine that I look up to, that have accomplished great things in their life. And I let that influence me, and I have developed my own path, my own train track that I'm on, going into this nation, not following all the, BS noise that's around us.
Yeah, try.
You don't have to. You don't have to fit in.
It's the worst thing you can do to yourself. Average is the enemy. And it's crazy because I've never felt like I fit in with majority of people. Period. And I never fit in with anybody for long periods of time. And it wasn't not until my 30s, and not until I, went into like the business world and acquired certain mentors and really focused on myself and self-mastery and my body and my health and my mind. And I started being around those people, and I started vibrating on the same frequencies with them. I was like, that's where I fit in. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, and this is my life, and I love this. And for them to give me the same energy back and understand, like we understand each other, like we're different animals, but we understand each other, So for me to be able to like have friends like you around me, who I can resonate on the same frequency with, it's very important. And I'm looking back and I'm like, well, that's why I never fucking fit in with majority of people, and then I never wanted to. Sometimes it hurt me. But I was like, I felt it inside of me. I was like, no, I gotta find something. I gotta find something better and better and better. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm the same person as you or as anybody else. I just done something different with my life. People get a twist. Oh, you think I'm better? No, I'm not better. I'm just different. Okay.
But also, there's a competition makes improvement too. I mean, a healthy competition where you see something you like it in a good jealous way. You do better. You try to improve and get better at whatever it is that you're doing. So a little bit of a healthy competition, I don't mind.
So it's necessary.
Yeah.
For men, it's necessary. Like our testosterone requires it. We have to be competitive. This is true. We're wired different than women. And that's why I hate when they say participation trophy. What the fuck is a participation trophy? It means you attended something, and maybe you gave your best and you didn't win, okay?
But
which means you'll see that somebody else got a trophy who worked a lot harder than you, and it'll drive you to be better next time. But majority of people, they just do they go there and they just participate, and then you gotta get a trophy. That's not how life fucking works, man.
No, you don't get trophies. Well, they're changing that now. If you have a bad credit score, you get a better rate.
Oh, God, man. Don't even talk to me about that.
So they're changing that perception. But no, as a joke, I totally agree with you. You learn from your shortcomings, but you're not applauded by them for them. You're only applauded by hard work and being at the top, accomplishing the greatest that you can possibly get. But not, being applauded for, hey, you're halfway there.
Average,
you gotta be better than average. You gotta learn from the path. We talked about learning from the path and learning from all the obstacles that life throws at you or the shortcomings. You have to learn from the shortcomings. You see what you did that made you have that shortcoming, and what the other person did to have the competitive edge. Learn from that, develop that competitive edge,
become better.
And become better. So you have to be competitive. You have to be strong and driven to get to wherever. So again, the bottom line, I think we're talking about a lot of good points, but if let's say if we were to summarize or have one main theme or one main thing, I would say is you gotta have a purpose. You gotta know what it is you want to accomplish. Where do you want to be? Once you know that, once you have an idea, then you reverse engineer your path.
Yeah.
Then you take good care of yourself, your person, and surround yourself with good people who will support that, who you can learn from, and engineer your path to get to wherever you think you want to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now.
100%.
Yeah. We all know where we're headed to a deathbed sooner or later.
Yeah.
We all know we got into that train from the first station we were born, you know. But what is that path going to look for you? You have to decide that for yourself, and hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully you surround yourself with good people who will help you have that good journey, because we're all headed to, you know,
to the grave one day.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. You actually hit the last point on a list of things I want to discuss with you, and you wrapped it up. I could not have said it better, brother. And just so you guys know, what we talked about today is the things that have helped us succeed in life, and the things that are important to understand and practice and to succeed in life. And those things were obviously, like me, my friend Steve here, we have an immigrant background and mindset, right? It's important to have balance in life. Number 3 was having proper role models. Okay?
Mentors.
Yeah. Not being, and also discussed about not being afraid to fail. And then close it off beautiful, like you just said, brother, with purpose. So you gotta have purpose in life. Other than that, I think we covered it all, my dude. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please like it. Please subscribe. Please share. Spread the message. All we're trying to do here is raise awareness and help other men like ourselves out there, and just paying it forward. So please click like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time. Steve, thank you, brother.
Of course,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Thank you.
All right, closing out.